Hello, and welcome to Getting to Good Enough, a podcast to help you let go of perfectionism so you can do more of what you love. I'm Shannon Wilkinson, a life coach in Portland, Oregon. I'm a recovering perfectionist who's getting better at good enough.
And I'm Janine Adams, a certified professional organizer in St. Louis, Missouri, and I'm lucky enough to be naturally good at good enough.
And today we're talking about strategies to clear your mind. Hey Janine.
Hey Shannon, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good too. I'm feeling healthy, and I'm not going to complain about anything at the top of the show.
Wow. Is that going to go in your bullet journal?
Perhaps it will. It could be the highlight of the day.
That's awesome. I don't have anything to complain about either.
Good.
Yeah. I had a cashmere sweater on, and I had to take it off because the sun started to stream in. I have a south-facing window, and it started to stream in this afternoon, and I got too warm.
Well, how about that?
I know, it's very exciting.
It's excellent.
Well, today we wanted to talk about some strategies to clear your mind. How's your mind?
Oh, my mind feels so cluttered.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think, I'm going to Walla Walla on Sunday, and I was supposed to go 2 weeks ago, so I thought I had everything planned, but then everything screeched to a halt, and I don't know what loose ends are hanging. I don't know. And so instead of doing anything about finding out today, I've just let my mind go crazy.
Oh, no.
I've had other things I had to do.
Your poor brain.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing I can put two sentences together, or two words.
Well, I wouldn't guess that.
Well, my mind is usually actually pretty cluttered. So.
But, I think one of the most obvious strategies, and which has probably occurred to you many times today, is to write things down.
Absolutely. I mean, that always gives my brain a break. When I write it down, I don't have to worry about forgetting. And sometimes the act of writing allows me to solve some problems, like when we flow chart things or mind map things. But yeah, the first step is to write it down. And I'm pretty sure in my bullet journal I have as a task today to write everything down.
Well, and there's this tricky thing that our brains do is they count it towards, effort in doing something when you think about it. So if you have a task to write everything down and you think about writing everything down, it's like you feel like you did something. Right.
And that isn't that very, very helpful, is it?
No.
No, it's much better to actually write it down.
Yeah. And, part of that is about systems and like we talked last week about bullet journals. That's a great system to keep everything, it could be your brain in a notebook. But having some place to write things down can really help you get stuff out of your head. Like you said, you don't have to remember it, or you don't have to worry about forgetting it. And it just lets you focus on something else, really.
It's like you open the door and let it out.
Right.
And then you can close the door and not think about it because it's safe. You put it in its cage instead of letting it run crazy around the room. It's like putting a puppy in a crate.
Oh my God, yeah. It makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
And that's one of the first line strategies. If you have a lot of things going through your mind constantly, like you're trying to remember stuff. Oh, I have to, don't forget this. Da, 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 da. And the other thing writing it down does, even if you don't look at it again, is it actually helps you remember, because most of us have a visual memory, and seeing it written down will help it get into your longer term memory.
Oh, that's interesting. And that's true if it's typed into a computer as well as if it's handwritten.
It's a little more powerful to handwrite it, but just seeing the words, whether it's on a computer screen or your device screen, or in a notebook or on a Post-it or whatever, will help. But there is something about handwriting something that makes it sort of sink in a little bit more.
I think, yeah, I can feel that. Like, you can picture it better, and also something about your hand to the paper and the feeling of it, the tactile nature of that maybe makes a difference.
Right. Well, and that's a really good point, is that, like, the more senses are involved with something, the easier it will be for you to remember it. And it, so like you said, there's a tactile feeling, there's a visual thing, then there's like the movement, and there's the thinking that goes into making the words on the paper. Anyway, it's
clear to me that we need to be using scented markers. So that we can engage our that sense as well.
Yeah. Oh, wait. I remember what I need to do. It's blueberry.
It smells like orange.
Tuesdays are for blueberries.
I think that it just popped into my head that's one of the beautiful things about the bullet journal, is that we can write it down and not worry about where it is. Because that used to happen to me a lot. I'd write something on I have these pads and paper on my desk, and I'd write them in there, but I wasn't sure I was going to be able to find it. And that niggles at your brain too. Right.
So, that's what I meant about, like, having a system, whether it's that you put all your notes in the Notes app in your phone, or you use Evernote, or you use a bullet journal, or you use a legal pad, but that you have consistency, so that your mind will also trust that when you put it down, that you know where to find it.
Exactly, yeah. And then, of course, the index in the bullet journal helps too.
Yes. Definitely.
Or table of contents, right.
All right, I'm just going to call it an index.
You're going to cave.
Yeah. But so, not to spend too much time on a bullet journal, but it is, because we did that last week.
Right.
But the writing it down makes a huge difference. Something else you can do is, practice mindfulness techniques, and focus your thoughts on something in particular, so that you can pay less attention to all the things that are going through your mind.
Yeah. So can you give me an example of what kind of focused thoughts you mean?
So that could be something as simple as paying attention to your breathing. And, when you're paying attention to your breathing, then it's much harder for those thoughts to, like, really get in there. It sort of squeezes them out, because your conscious conscious mind is paying attention to one particular thing.
Right. That makes perfect sense. And it makes me think about how, for the most part, when I'm doing yoga, I'm not thinking about my task list and so forth, usually.
Right.
Yeah. And when I do think about my task list during yoga, I have a much less beneficial feeling yoga session.
Yeah, exactly. So I also just learned a really interesting strategy. If your mind seems to fill up when it's time to go to bed, I wish I could remember. I literally just read this and I can't remember where, but it was to practice naming things in a list. And one of the examples they gave is to do cities in alphabetical order. So you'd come up with an A city. So it'd be like Albuquerque, and then Burbank, and then, a C one. And it's like enough to, again, sort of keep all the other thoughts out. And yet it's boring enough that you can fall asleep doing it.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, and it could help you in the future categories game.
Yeah.
I used to think about, before I was really into it, when I first started doing genealogy, when I was trying to go to sleep, I would think about how I was going to organize my genealogy. And it always put me to sleep. But now I love organizing my genealogy and talking about it, and so that wouldn't be a good one. But yeah, I remember that was the thing that could put me right out.
Yeah. But you could do something similar, like trying to remember the names of your ancestors.
Oh yeah.
Like
follow a family line. I like that.
So it's coming up with a list that is enough to occupy you, but not interesting enough that it'll keep you awake.
Right. I could try to come up with the state capitals. With the states in alphabetical order. Because I have that memorized because of that song I learned as a kid.
Oh my God. That seems complicated.
Too hard, maybe?
But if you have the state song. I never learned the state song. So
best song I ever learned. So handy. I probably use it once a day. Or at least once a week.
Do you sing it to yourself?
Yeah.
Did you hesitate because you're afraid I'm going to ask you to sing it to us?
No, because I have the power of saying no. But I had to think about it. Do I sing it? So I went through it in my head. Yep. And when I'm trying to torture Barry, I sing it to him. But it's called 50 Nifty United States, and I will find a link to it, I'm sure, and put it in the show notes. You all can learn it. It's really very handy.
Oh, that's great. I know that our kids learned a state song, but
wonder if that was it.
It might be. I don't know. I don't remember Nifty 50 though.
50 Nifty.
50 Nifty.
Right. Well, the bulk of the song is the list.
Right.
Of states, but there's an opening and a closing. Yeah, I'm not going to sing it.
I keep waiting for you to just accidentally start singing.
No.
Okay. So some of the other things that you can do to kind of clear your mind when you have a lot of things going on. Once you've written stuff down and you're not going to forget something, because it's going to be really hard to let it go if you don't have a way of reminding yourself. But you can imagine that the thoughts are, some people say, like, imagine the thoughts are clouds, like just let things pass through and don't latch onto them, like don't pay attention to the individual thoughts. Like
they're candies on a conveyor belt.
Right. Yeah. Or, it floats in a parade or, whatever. But, because our brains have thoughts, and the only time they really become a problem is when we kind of latch on and think we either, perseverate on a particular thought or think that whatever we're thinking about is a problem.
Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, when worry sort of factors in, then that ratchets up the negative aspects of some thoughts, right?
Right.
Yeah. And I like the idea of just sort of observing and letting it go, like in meditation.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And the worry thing brings up one other idea, which is if there is something that you're thinking about a lot and that, and you're in sort of a worried way, pay attention to that and ask yourself, okay, this is what I'm worrying about. Is there anything I can do about it right now? And if there is, do it. If there isn't, let it go.
Right.
You can ask yourself, well, like, is there something I can do about this in the future? And if there is, like, sometimes you worry about something that's coming up. And there's nothing you can do about it now, but you're, continuing to worry about it. And just recognizing, like, you don't have enough information. Like, you have to actually wait for something else to happen for you to get closer to the event or whatever. And it's like writing something down, like acknowledging, okay, this is something I'm concerned about, and there's nothing I can do about it until next week.
Yeah, and if you're in a position to write it down, next week do this thing or whatever, then
Right.
get it out. That could get it out of your brain as well. Yeah, that sounds very useful.
Yeah, it's a helpful way to reduce your worrying, and because worry is like that thing I was talking about a minute ago, of where, like, your mind thinks that you're putting effort towards solving a problem when you're worrying about it. And so it wants to keep doing it, but it generally feels bad.
Right. Yeah.
So, sort of doing the opposite of, instead of letting things just sort of be in the background, like, face whatever it is you're worried about head on and ask yourself some questions about, what you can do about it, if anything, when you can do that, and then what do you need to do to make that happen?
Yeah, and then let it go. Yeah, that's really that's solid advice. That's a good tip, Shannon.
Well, we would love to hear from you, our listeners. Do you have favorite ways to clear your mind? Does your mind need clearing? You can let us know on Facebook and Instagram at Getting to Good Enough, on Twitter at GTG Enough. You can leave us a voicemail at 413-424-GTGE, that's 4843. Or you can head over to gettingtogoodenough.com and leave us a message in the show notes. Until next time, this is Shannon Wilkinson in Portland, Oregon.
And Janine Adams in St. Louis, Missouri.
And we hope that good enough is getting easier for you. Come on, sing the song.
No way.